Right, so what we're going to do today is learn about simultaneous equations. Now, like you can see, there are three different tiers. So this video will only consist of the two bronze examples. In the next video, you can see two silver, and in the third video, you'll be able to see two gold examples. Now, a thing to notice is why we learn simultaneous equations, in the first place. We learn simultaneous equations because we've got two lines, okay? So this is actually an equation of a straight line, and this is also an equation of a straight line, like that, okay? There's one point where these two lines meet. Now, you could plot a graph and figure that out, but I think that's just too long. So we're going to learn how to solve equations simultaneously to be able to find out the x and y coordinate that satisfies both equations. Okay, so that's why we learn simultaneous equation. Another thing to notice, what's the difference between bronze, silver and gold? Well, have a look. Bronze already has one value of y, which is exactly the same in the first equation and the second equation. In silver, if I times this by 2, I'll get a 4. If I times this by 3, I'll get a 3y. The products, this equation is essentially a product of the first equation, okay? And the gold one, well, I'm going to have to, so if I want the x's to be the same, I'll have to times this by 5, because 5 times 2 gives 10. And I'll have to times this whole equation by 2, because 2 times 5 gives me 10, to get one value which is the same. So that's the difference between the difficulty. So let's get on and have a look at one of the bronze examples. So the first things first, I'm going to call this equation 1 and I'm going to call this equation 2. Second step, I want one of the values to be the same. If I notice carefully, I can see the y and the y to be the same, and I want them to go away. So if I want them to go away, I have to do a minus, because plus y minus y gives me nothing. On the other hand, 6 minus 4x is 2x. 15 minus 11 is 4. I want to work out x. Divide by 2 on both sides. X gives me 2. I've actually already got my x coordinate. Now I'm going to tell the examiner what I'm doing. So I'm going to say sub x equals 2 in, you can choose which equation you want. I'll choose equation 2. So 4 times 2 plus y equals 11. 4 times 2 is 8 plus y equals 11. Both sides, you should know that you need to minus 8. Y equals 3. Now, in an exam, I would urge you to check your work. So this is not where it ends. So checking, so if you use equation 2, you check, and you can, in the exam, also do this, and you can have everything written in. Check using equation 1. So here's my equation 1. You know x is 2, so 6 times 2, and you know y is 3. Let's see what that gives me. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15, which is what in the original equation I had. That means my solutions are correct. These two lines intersect when x equals 2 and y equals 3. Okay, so let's have a look at another example. I would urge you to stop or pause this video and try this example on your own. Now that you've done that, my first thing, what I'm going to do is label. If you haven't labeled, annotate it on your work now. The second thing you want to do is get two values which are the same. Now I've got y and y, which is the same, and I want to get rid of it. I'm just going to write it here. Plus y minus y. So this is plus y and this is minus y. What sign do I put? What do I do to both equations that they cancel out? Well, if I add in a plus and a minus gives me minus, which gives me 0. So I'm adding the two equations together. 7 plus 2 9x. 22 plus 5 is 27. You divide by 9 on both sides, x equals 3. You have the x value. Using, I will sub it into 2. Using 2, I'm going to do 2 times 3 minus y equals 5. 6 minus y equals 5. Minus 6 on both sides. Minus y equals minus 1. If you are really clever, you should know that the minus and minus cancel off, and y becomes 1. You're not done until you check your work. So check using 1. 7x is 3, y is 1. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 1 is 22. Is that what I have? Yes, that is what I have. So actually, I've got this 3/4 mark question correct. And this is great in the exam because you know you've done something absolutely correct. And that is our bronze question done.